with the maximum peace for the audience who want to hear. And as all of you know, this program is live on YouTube. So let there be a pleasant experience for the audience wherever they are. Thank you very much, everyone, for the nice introduction. And I'm very happy to be serving through Rotary and Rotaract again. For the last almost 10 years, I am connected with உறவுக்கு உயிர் கொடுப்போம், the premarital guidance for the college final year students, both UG and PG. And this project has won a lot of awards and recognitions from the Rotary International. So I am happy in associating myself with Rotary, though I am not formally connected directly with Rotary. I am directly helping the Rotary services to reach the public. So I am very happy and proud about it. So I thank Sakti for both Saktis. One Sakti is known to me, that is Mr. Dr. Sakti Vijayan, and the another one is the Rotaract President Sakti. And I thank both of them for having invited me. It's a great pleasure to be amongst the youth, because when we go to children, they say we don't have any, don't have any power to implement whatever good for the society. And when we go to the parents, they say, we are all now done case, so we don't have any room for our self improvement. So I believe only the youth, as Vivekananda said, Swami Vivekananda said, the youth only have the power. And unfortunately, there are a lot of challenges that are faced by youth. So today we'll be addressing some of the issues that are connected with the teenage brains who will become youth, a very responsible youth. So with these few words, I would like to go into the session. Life is a priceless gift. We know how much it is costly when we go to the infertility centers. So people are longing, waiting to sell everything that they have in their property, whatever they possess as a asset, to exchange with a baby in their hand. But unfortunately, when it comes just like that, we are not knowing the value of it. And it's a priceless gift. It is unique. There is no other specimen in this planet or like us or like any individual. And we are different. Okay, we are different and we are awesome. Awe is the nature's creating ability is awe. That means infinite possibilities of creation is what we call awe. And we are a droplet of the nature. We call it as awesome. So this is a life that which comes with a lot of value, lot of price is there in this. So we need to understand the price of this value and handle this life in a most responsible way. Life is a journey, and every human being is a traveler here. We are here not for any fun purpose. We have come here with a goal, with a purpose to do something in this planet. So it's a journey. Every human being in this planet is a traveler with a purpose, vision, and mission. Unfortunately, when we go to a company, an institution to work, there they have displayed what is the vision and mission of their organization. But unfortunately, the human beings are born in this planet with no idea about for what is the purpose of their life and all. Definitely, when companies have vision and mission, why can't we? Are we having an idea about what is that journey? Where are we going to travel? How the journey is going to be? What is that we are going to attain and achieve in this life? So just because I said it is a journey and we are traveler here, as all of you know, that too the young generation knows, without a Google map, you can't even go to the next street. That is the kind of requirement the current 21st generation teenagers or youth have. So life is a journey, and we need to travel in the right direction. Speed is something you can pick up whenever it is needed, but if the direction is wrong, it is going to definitely make this journey very painful and very unpleasant and regretting. So if it is a journey where we need a direction, Google does not give you the speed, but it tells you the direction. So you need a GPS of your life. We have never thought of this, that do we have a GPS of our life? Because we have never been told that there is a GPS needed and you are in this planet on a mission, and for to do that, to achieve that one, you need to know, you need to have your personalized GPS. Your friend's GPS, your parents' GPS cannot be your GPS, because I said in the first slide, we are unique and we are totally, there is no duplicate of us in this planet. So like we are unique, our GPS also has to be unique. So we cannot look into the next person and see his map and travel, which is not making any sense to us. I said life is a journey, and the journey is between these two levels, TOG to GOD. You can choose a life of a dog, not to demean the dog of the life, life of the dog, just to give a message that we our journey starts from DOG and we can become the GOD. That is the human potential. So here I would just like to remind that we have an animal instinct in us, which is what I call DG and DOG, and also we have a divine instinct or divine intuition, what we call the intelligence, to become the godliness. So both of them are possible for us, and human being is the only species in the planet who has these possibilities. No other planet in this no other species in the planet has the ability to move from DOG to GOD. That is why I called our human being life is priceless, and we are unique and we are awesome. Unique, every species is unique, but awesome is only human beings to the highest extent. So there is something called genetics. All of you are connected with the natural science. It is very simple to understand. We are all born with some genetic traits, whatever we can call it, as the raw material has been given by your parents. So we are made of our parents' raw material. So genetics, definitely there's a great influence on genetics. Is that this is not our contribution. This is our parents' contribution. We can never claim to be anything. We can't claim that this is our achievement. This is our parents. Whatever they have given to us, whether it's a curse or a boon, it belongs to them. This is what we are able to acquire in this birth. The day we are born, the day our umbilical cord is cut from our mother, we start acquiring something in this planet in different ways, in different levels. So acquire what we have acquired in this planet is what is our achievement. So born with a silver spoon is not a blessing. Most of the time it is a curse. If you are born to a poverty, a poor parents, probably whatever you achieve, whatever you do in your life is your achievement. You can be very proud of. But you are born with a silver spoon. Often, you are not able to make a big difference to the life that you have been given, and you are able to make. So acquired intelligence is what is going to make the delta X. You are born with something, you are dying with something. The delta X is the difference between these two events, and that is what is your achievement in life. But acquisition itself is not enough. You need to achieve lot of things in life we call success, status, recognition, rewards. Everything becomes achievement in life, but they alone are not enough. We need to look into something else that gives us total satisfaction. So the achievement acquired in the process of acquiring our qualifications, our experience, we achieve something in life, and finally we are getting rewards in the name of whatever names the society gives. We get rewards, and they alone will not let you to live in peace. So ultimate goal of every individual, sorry, is to live in peace. If you are not living in peace, then you are living in pieces. That means you leave this planet with a lot of regrets and a feeling that you did not make use of this opportunity. This is something like throughout the year you did not study. At the end of the year you fail, and then you start feeling that I wasted my 1 year. Something like that. We are probably wasting a very long duration of our life. So the goal between the journey is between what our parents have given and what we have achieved, and in the process, how much peace and satisfaction we have achieved in life. And people call this as self-actualization. And that's what Maslow's theory also says. Ultimately, you are living for a self-actualization, and spiritually people call it as self-realization. This is what your parents are concerned. Now, I said your journey is between DOG to GOD. That means you are, as child, you grow up and become an adult and become something in this planet, and want to say that this is my achievement at the end of your life, and that should be more satisfying and rewarding. But your parents, because they are all caregivers, they have some concern about your progress as a child, as a teenager. So they are sending you to education, to find a career, to find your soulmate or the best half or the better half, and want to take a commitment of marriage and proceed to the next level of reproduction. So there are two goals in our life for every human being. One is production and the other one is reproduction. When I say production, it is something you create in this planet. You show to this world that this is what I have created. It could be a process. It could be development of some human beings, human resource development. So you develop something which I call it as production, and you have a choice to become parent and do your reproduction and leave a very responsible child in this planet. Unfortunately, most of the human beings are only feeling egoistic about producing a child, but they are forgetting that the responsibility of the parents is to leave the child in this planet a very responsible human being in this planet. I am sorry to say, I do take the responsibility. Last 2 centuries or more than that, human beings have more focused on the number of children they produced, not the quality of life that they gave to children. That's very unfortunate. And as adults, as teenagers who are now getting into the life of becoming parent, I want all of you to be very conscious about what you are doing. Let it not be an entertainment or a fun where you just produce a child and curse the child and leave with the child and go off. And it is another 100 years, you are leaving a very bad impact, bad imprint on this planet. So I would, in a way, advise like my children, if you are getting married, if you are becoming a parent, please be very careful about it. Don't just like the produce a child and live in this planet for the child to suffer the next 100 years of their life or 80 plus years of life. So that's your parent concern. So they don't want you to go back to your home with a daughter-in-law or a son-in-law. They want you to see with the graduations, the degrees, the projects, the scope of getting into some employment. Because if reproduction is your goal, then better don't waste your time in the college. Better go and get married. If you want, it is wise to produce children. Be a parent at your choice, but don't mix up your education with your teenage issues or the reproductive urges that is happening because of your hormones that are tempting you to try all those things. So what is this stress for the current youth? And this is what I think is truth according to me. They don't have any plans for the future. I just had an opportunity to go through some of the feedback or the forms you have filled to attend this session. I could see the reality is many children don't have any idea about what they would do, and they are not very sure about it. Maybe they don't want to say that, but if few questions are asked, they will be blank. That much I can be sure about it. And they just follow the crowd and the current trend. They just like an agriculture person, a farmer who sees what is sellable in the market and he tries to produce that. So children, I see a lot of children, instead of doing what they love and what they want to become, they see what is the current trend and try to get deviate from what they are meant to do in this planet. So their vision is not there. So the missions they keep changing, and that is becoming very common phenomena nowadays. And often choose by the influence of friends. We all know many of you must have chosen your degree just because some of your friends felt this is the ideal thing to do. And very, very unfortunately, when the 10th to 11th choice is made, 90% of the children feel that the friendship is more important than studies. And then when they complete their 12th standard, they feel that they did not make the right choice. But then this is another problem, that when you become youth, you start regretting about that decision you did not make it. And yes, though it is not very commonly nowadays happening, accept parents decision by force. Now currently the parents are able to force their decision only by saying, I am an investor, I am the financier. If you are not doing what I want, I will not give you money. I think nowadays children are able to even manage it to some extent, but definitely around 20% of the children are definitely accepting parents' decision by force. I have heard many a children saying that I did this degree for my parents and I told them don't disturb my PG. PG I want to do whatever I want to do. So you see 4 years of life they want to sacrifice just to please the parents are out of compulsion. Very very unfortunate, though it is not very frequently happening, and jump into any career out of despair. I have seen. I am a person connected with the assessment of brain and employment related HR activities and all. I am connected, and I ask somebody who has come with an engineering degree. I ask, why did you do engineering? They just say, sir, no, I did because of some reason. Now I can't go for it because I feel I am not qualified to go into that. And now I want somehow a job because I'm feeling very frustrated. And my family and my friends are all, are probably criticizing me that I'm not able to get. It's out of frustration. They jump into any career. And unfortunately, that is not a right thing to do. We cannot do that. That's but the current reality. I have seen a lot of self motivation and self confidence, very, very important components for the growth of every youth. These two components are very, very important. For example, if it is now 5 o'clock the session, how many of you came to 4:55 and waited? You can have n number of excuses. That is very natural. In fact, I was telling to Dr. Sakti Vijayan that this is the typical of the teen brains. They will always wait for the time and make it a point that they go a little later than that. That's the trend. That is the style. That is the thought process of the teenagers, which is not, I'm not complaining about it, but then that is going to set your future in a different way. And yes, this is very true. They fail to discover the uniqueness. Everybody says in the media, in the TV, in the programs, in the movies, find out what you can be the best and do that. But it is not something available in the newspaper to find out and then find out where to go. This is something every individual has come with a unique map, GPS of their own. And unfortunately, children are not having the idea of finding out their uniqueness. It doesn't make any sense in finding what you are meant to do this planet. Like me at the age of 48 I found. So the whole session is only aimed at how I can make that 48 into 24. I want all of you to find out your mission and vision at the age of 24, because the most productive part of your life is between 24 and 48. These 24 years, if you don't spend well, I think the rest of things are only left to the God, the nature, the fate to decide that. So, unfortunately, the social media, the media, whatever forms of media, is all fantasizing. It shows that if you just complete your degree, you just go in a car, and the company gives you all facilities, and you are having all luxuries in there. Real life is not like that, and everything that is shown in the movie, it is not happening in reality, but the teenagers are refusing to believe. That is the big challenge that the adults are having, the parents are having with the teenagers. They think whatever is happening in the movies, whether it is on the reproduction front or in the production front, in the achievement front, the promotion front, the rewards front, whatever achievements and the uploads you are getting, they think all will come just like that. No, totally, the life is totally opposite. Unfortunately, children are dreaming that movie. That is, even that hero who is playing the movie is not living a life of that. That's the reality. Okay. And last but not the least is something called midlife crisis. All of you, I want the whole session, the objective of the session is how to prevent midlife crisis for these children, these teenagers and these youth who are attending this session. This is the worst punishment you can have in your life, is a crisis that comes when you are married and with children and the whole responsibilities, and you just sit and feel so vexed, frustrated, disappointed, and disgusted with your whole life process. Okay, so all those things are coming because you did not discover what is your mission and vision in this life. But then it looked like all I am criticizing the youth, but you also have challenges. I do understand, and the parents out there, the adults out there would agree with me. The challenges of teenagers are confused with the circadian rhythms, the natural brain's natural cycle. This is something which is every teenager is going through. He is not able to align with the natural clock. The natural clock, because it's all naturopathy students, most of you are, you will understand there is a rhythm called the circadian rhythm, and that's a brain's natural clock. If you don't do anything, it will tell you how to get up and when to eat and when to handle your, how to handle your life in a circular, in a cyclic fashion. But then teenagers, for various reasons, I will be discussing it later, they are confused, so they sleep at 3 o'clock in the night and get up at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night. And then, because of which they are not able to adhere to the schedules, what they want to do, even the teachers want them to do, the parents want them to do, even they themselves know that they are, it is good to them, but they are struggling to adhere to this schedules and go to learning college, or especially teenagers when they go to college, maybe in schools 11th and 12th are still treated like kids, so it is relatively fair. But the minute you go to the college, you think as if you have been given 100% freedom and you have achieved everything in life. Now it is only the entertainment, the joy, the time pass, the fun is, it is, life is only meant for fun. But there is a very high responsibility of education. Learning is definitely there. So you go to a classroom without having your breakfast, without not properly sleeping, without not properly preparing yourself, without not doing the required preparation for your studies. You just go into the classroom half slept. Okay, you are sleeping half. So because you are not prepared, alert, your brain is not alert, you are waiting for the canteen to open and you want to have something before the session goes. The first session is supposed to be the most productive session for every college, but unfortunately for the students, that is the least productive session. And because of that, then they struggle to concentrate in the early morning classes, combined combined with the attention span problems of jumping from the school to the college. In the school, the teacher led learning, and in the college, it is more of you have to decide and you have to participate. It is your interest and your involvement that will make you something better in learning process. And because of which you did not pay attention in the classroom, and then the remembering becomes difficult, and because you don't remember well, the understanding does not happen, and then you for the exams you study and you complete exams as if they are the penalty, the fine, the punishment of your lifetime. I'm sorry to say that many a children are just grumbling, looking forward to exams in such a pathetic way, as if it has come to them as a curse. That is very, very unfortunate. But then you will realize this, that you did not make use of your life when you become 35 and 40, when you get your kids, and when they don't, take the education in the right way, then you feel highly frustrated. But these are certain challenges, but all are interlinked because along with one or the other. Yeah, that is the power. Everybody is born with a Bugatti or a Ferrari kind of a car. It is our unfortunate ignorance that makes us to believe that we are limited, we cannot do certain things. If you understand the power of your brain, we can truly achieve whatever we want to achieve in life. So it is such a wonderful organ. The most complex computer in this planet is the human brain, and we are all bestowed with one for our personal use. And what is that we are using it for is the question that I want all of you to ask. What you are using your brain for? What is that you want to achieve with your brain? And that is the question that I want you to ask. And teenagers, the brain has some challenges. The session is to understand the challenges and manage them well, without really hurting your long-term goals and missions that you want to achieve. So this is all of us know this is how the brain parts and the brain looks like. Between 12 and 19, we call teenage. Okay, this is the most crucial, in fact most challenging part of our life is these 7 years. If we can handle these 7 years wisely, intelligently, our life is totally done for the next 50 or 60 years. That is the reason why I wanted to spend some time with you today. But the challenge is the brain is growing and growing. When I say growing, it is the connections that are getting added and added. Everything that you are doing, every thought that is coming in your head, every activity that you are doing, every conversation you are making is actually making a connection in your brain. And it is happening in three dimensions. From top to bottom, the growth is happening, the maturity is happening. From the left brain, right brain to left brain, the maturity is happening. From the from the parietal lobe to both sides of the occipital and the prefrontal lobe, also the maturity is happening. So the development, the maturity, when we say it is just a connection of neurons, the connection of neurons are getting increasingly happening during the teenage. That is the reason why it is very, very crucial. During this time only, you get your hormones pumped out just like that. You look into one photograph, one Instagram picture of another gender or some other event. There are millions of neurons are firing in your head and it is making a pathway. And if you repeatedly do that, it will occupy your brain and you will productivity will be lost. You will slowly move towards your reproduction. So it is very, very important that we need to be very, very careful in these 7 years. And this 7 is not just 7. For some people, it is actually more than this. The adolescence, the teenage is between 12 and 19, just for the simple understanding. But we have understood the individual brain's maturity varies depending upon the way it is structured, how it is organized. Everybody has 100 billion neurons, but they are not organized in the same way. So, depending upon the way the structure has been designed by the nature, the maturity time extends. Some children get matured even after 30 and 35. When I say maturity, it is not the physical maturity and the physiological maturity which happens during teenage. I am talking about the psychological maturity. The psychological maturity is what is mattering to us in the life to do something big in the planet. The physiological maturity is enough to produce a child, but to produce something big in this planet and leave an imprint in this planet, you need to have a psychological maturity, and that is not at 19. It could even go to 25 and 30, depending upon the design of your brain. So brain, whatever we call the adolescence, adolescence is adult who is innocent together is adolescence. So sometimes you behave like an adult, sometimes you behave like an innocent child, and you are confusing your parents and the teachers. Are you taking responsibility of your life, or you want the parents to guide you and support you? This is where we call it as a brain that is highly confused. Sometimes it think I don't need anybody, and sometimes it thinks I need somebody, and that is why we call it as under construction. And during this under construction, because of the hormones, because of the new connections that are happening, because of this certain societal pressures, including the peer influence, subsequently becomes the peer influence, and subsequently becomes the social society influence. So the influence is happening all the time. By what you are getting influenced is very, very important. Before 12 years, you are influenced by your parents and the teachers. But the minute you become a teenager, then the parents and the teachers slowly go off in your mind, and you get influenced by a peer group or a peer group, whatever you end up in having. So during that teenage, what happens to you? You start overreacting. You feel very anxiety about certain things. Then you start rolling your eyeballs at your parents and the teachers as if they are as if you are your enemies, and you always have some complaints and feeling injustice. This is not fair, that is not fair. You claim that your rights are there, but you are not taking equal responsibilities, you are not taking. So these are certain areas where definitely there are some challenges that are happening. And this is something called door slamming vortex. Yes, when your parents say something which advice you don't like it, then you kick your bike, then you bang your door, you hit someone, and you break something. It depends upon your brain design. You do all those things. So these are very natural. I am not complaining, but you need to be aware about these are things that are happening, and this is happening in the teenage. I need to control myself. I need to be mindful of my behavior also. So, as a teenager, you will have a challenge to focus on entertainment or information. Whether to use your human brain, which we call it as neocortex. The neocortex is about intelligence, like leading your life towards something achievement and all. Is which I said there the production. So, are you using your head more or using your heart more? This is what, in a general parlance, people will call it as. But for the understanding in this session, I am telling you: are you focusing on entertainment in your life, or are you focusing on information gathering in life? Are you spending time in learning process of your college days? Are you find it very comfortable roaming around with your peers and the pairs and all the entertainment that is available for you to take you away, completely immersed up to 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the night, even keeping a mobile inside your blanket? That is what I call it as entertainment. So depending upon what you are choosing, the life will become great or regret. Regret means, oh shit, I should have not, this is something, had I done this before, maybe if I knew this before, all kind of frustration sets in later on. So my dear friends, I am not telling you you focus more on only using your thinking brain. You balance it. So balancing is the art. So even as a teenager, I just reminding you, just be conscious about how your day goes. You can balance it, whatever sleeping personal time you leave out, whatever time is left over. Just think for yourself now. Am I giving a balanced thought process? Am I spending my time in the purpose education and whatever fun the internal body, the hormones, the brain, and the limbic brain, the emotions are all driving me crazy. So I don't want you to avoid them, but consciously spend time. So what is that you are doing is very, very important. If you spend your time in entertainment, you will naturally get engagement with an engagement that is not supposed to be your current objective or your goal. Okay, so what is the reason why children feel entertainment is more fun, more joyful? Everything is only that, and you see teachers, the exams, the projects. You just curse them as if they are all villains in your life. That is the typical teenage mindset. Maybe the degree could vary, but this is something which happens to the human brains, because during your teenage there is a pruning of neurons are happening. Pruning means whatever you are using will get strengthened, whatever you are not using will get removed. This is the nature's way of conserving the resources of the brain. The brain is, it cannot allow an infinite context to happen unless otherwise it is rightly handled. So please remember, during your teenage between the 12 and the 19, typically your frontal lobe, that is your forehead part of your brain, all of you are medical students, you will understand, you can google out, this prefrontal lobe is very important, and it is now removing what is not needed, what is not utilized. So if you study mathematics or, for example, biology, if you don't do a revision, then your brain will remove whatever you studied before. It will try to remove it out because it is not being used on regular basis. So that is what is called pruning of neurons. This is done to conserve the energy which is not being regularly used for any purpose. So it just thinks it as one time event, use and throw, pay and use kind of a concept. So the brain doesn't give too much importance for the neural pathways to be created, and because of which setting goals is a difficulty, planning for the future is a difficulty, making decisions which are right decisions are very very difficult, controlling the impulses. We all know how you drive in the road, and when somebody overtakes or gives a bad look, how you chase them and show them some some reactions to them. That is the impulsive behavior. And prioritizing is a big challenge. There may be an exam which is very important for you, but you will be thinking, okay, let me study later. This is something I can do. I can get up in the morning. On the way, I can ask my friends. I will take tips from my friends and write it. You will find so many reasons to postpone. That's what we call prioritizing. And you are not able to assess the risk. This is the common problem of the teenagers. You will all agree with me, the number of people who die on the road, if you take the accidents, it is the teenagers are just completed the teenage and got just a license, because it is very important. Knowing the driving is not important. Handling the traffic is most important. With the kind of automation of vehicles come in, every child also can drive the two-wheeler or four-wheeler. But as an adult, you should be able to assess the risk and take decisions, which is again not very matured or not happening right to the teenagers. So what happens? Whatever you do every moment makes a big difference in your life. It may appear to be very trivial now. It could be appear to be just like that fun, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. It doesn't make any difference, but every moment what you do, what you are doing now, is going to decide your future. My dear children out there who are studying at various levels, these 4 years and 5 years and 6 years of life is going to be the most important part of your life. I'm sure all your teachers and parents must have told, once you have completed 12th standard, then there is no pressure. You can just enjoy life. That was just to, you know, just to take care of your tempting ideas and all those times. In fact, these 5 years are very, very important. If you don't use this opportunity, you lose this opportunity for lifetime. So we need to use our brain, otherwise we lose our ability of the brain. This picture just shows, if there is no competition, okay, if there is not nurtured well, then the neurons connectivities happen like this. But there is a competition and the resources are very limited. You need to get into that. If you work towards improvising your brain performance, that is how the competency is increased, and your brain can be like this. Now you choose what type of a brain you want to have in your life, the one which is up or one which is down. If it is down, that means you have a Bugatti, you have a Ferrari, you are using like a Tata Nano. That's your choice. You are using like a Maruti 800. That's a choice for you. Okay, so this is a choice for you. The vehicle is that Ferrari, but what is that you are using for is what I call it as use it or lose it. So, my dear friends, we are nothing but our brain. We need to focus on giving 100%, not getting 100%. You shouldn't be focused on what you are getting in your exam. You should be focusing on what you are giving towards the exam. So learning should be fun. Unfortunately, for many a children, learning is a pain. Learning is a punishment. Learning is something they just want to get out of that. Okay? So learning should be fun. To make it fun, you focus on what you are giving. The getting will naturally happen. Unless you give 100%, if you get 100%, it is not going to be sustainable. Maybe in your college you will get, but you go for a national competition, you will not get. Even if you get there, if you don't give 100%, you will not be able to go further competition at all. So if you focus on giving 100%, you will continue to get 100%. Even you don't get 100%, you will be 100% satisfied. So just don't study for your marks and your grades and your performances. Just see, are you happy with your performance? If you don't ask this question now, you will regret for your rest of your life. That's a warning come, advice. So success, in my definition, or what I believe success is, what are you doing with what you are having? That is what is very important. As I said, you have a Ferrari. What are you doing with that is very, very important. You are given the most complex computer in this planet. What are you doing with that? Are you just seeing a movie and roaming around with children and just spending some money, sitting in the mall, watching some movies and Netflix and all so many distracting avenues are available. So it is a choice for you, and success is not a goal, it is what you do every day. So, what you do with what you have every day is what I call success. And it is not something you can postpone for the later part of it. The reproductive part you can postpone forever. It can be enjoyed any point of time. But when it comes to success, when it comes to achievement something in life, whether it is academic, whether it is career, whether it is your personal goals being achieved, they all can happen only when what you are doing with what you have every moment and give 100%. So this is some very interesting concept called Ikigai. Many of you must have heard here and there. You can Google it and find out. This is what I am trying to tell the teenagers. Find out what is your Ikigai. Find out what is that passion, what is that vocation you want to do, what is the profession you want to choose, what is the mission of your life. If you can figure out these things, then I don't think you will be wandering in the malls, you will be wandering in the theaters, you will be wandering in the road, you will be focusing on your mission. But unfortunately, parents are telling, the teachers are telling, the adults are telling, do what you love, what you are good at. But you can't wait up to 25 years and 30 years to figure out what you are good at. You need to start your journey early. The teenager, these 7 years is the most productive, not reproductive. Most productive part of your life. And what are you doing those 7 years is going to make or break your life. My children, my dear children, please focus on these aspects of your life. And this leads to what I call the wow, the interest. Find out where is your interest lies. See, it's a real fact. Maybe when you grow into adult, you will know. The interest is something like infatuation you get when you see the other gender. You will look like this is my, soulmate life. This is what I wanted. But infatuation is different from love. Okay, so the interest is something because your brain is not still matured enough to really figure out, is that really my competent area, or just like that I am getting influenced by something which everybody is doing. For an example, now today the data science, the big data, the visual media is really in a big demand. So every child thinks that they can be into that big data and artificial intelligence and automations and kind of thing. That is just a small interest created by an external environment. It is not an internal drive. So you need to find out, is the internal drive and the external what you want to do is really happening or not. Then definitely talent is very, very important. Everybody can be a mathematics professor, but some professors are totally brilliant. So there is a competency, that's a talent, that is a potential that you need to find out. If you are good in mathematics, you can be a commerce graduate also. You can be an engineer also. You can become totally a research, mathematical research also you can do. So depending upon your competency, you need to pitch. You need to figure out what type of domain that I can be excel. So you need to know the purpose of your life, and obviously success is also important. So the wow is a feeling, is an experience that you go through your brain, not when you see your hero in the theater doing some great things and you feel wow. No, you are the hero of your life. How many times you feel wow about your life experience, about your achievements. Others achievement is entertainment, your achievement is what I call the growth, the personal growth and the self growth. So my dear friends, my dear children, do give a thought about figuring out what is that wow, what is that ikigai, what in Japanese it is ikigai and the Indian equivalent is wow. So how many times in your life you are feeling that wow moment? Just think about, when did you feel wow moment? When you did something for your personal growth, not at appreciating others and feeling wow. That's the separate segment, we are not talking about that here. So we have a very, very innovative, interesting tool that we are offering in MiDNA Global. MiDNA stands for Multiple Intelligences Decoding and Nurturing Academy. It's an organization which helps children to find out what way they are intelligent. Everybody is an intelligent, but they are not similarly intelligent. They are totally intelligent. When I said that human being is awesome and different and unique, the difference is coming because you are all given different platforms to excel. Somebody is iPhone, somebody is Android of different versions, like computers. So, like applications. So, everybody is good in some application, maybe multiple applications, but you need to find out what is that this computer meant for, what is this mobile phone meant for. Some mobiles are good with camera, some mobiles are good with audio, some mobiles are made for games, some mobiles are meant for doing the applications of business applications. So you need to find out what is my mobile is meant to do. You just had got a mobile doesn't mean that you can do everything and anything, because the design of the mobile, the platform of the mobile in which the mobile is built is meant for certain process specifically. We need to find out that. So what we call the genetic brain profiling, we do an analysis of your brain and give a personalized guidance. This is what we are doing in our organization and in our network, and which helps people to discover the unique roadmap early. When I say early, just hold on your breath, because one can decode a child's roadmap as early as 2 years of their life. So the minute you put your child in the LKG, in the preschool, you know what this child is going to handle, what subjects, how difficult it is going to be for the child, what the child is good at, what the child is going to spend more time with to improvise on. So it is something like knowing, like in the Google Map, we will see different colors are given to indicate the traffic. Okay, in some places it will be no traffic, so like that. So like this map will be able to guide the children and the teenagers how the road ahead is going to be. Anyhow you have to travel. There is no excuse, there is no shortcut, there is no magic. You have to travel, but by knowing which road I should take to reach my goal, which road is traffic, which road is not traffic, which road is good and which road is not good, if you know about it, then still you are traveling, but you are traveling in the right direction, because the speed is something you can always adjust according to your external situations, but the direction is something you can't compromise. So my dear friends, we are giving you a roadmap, a compass of your life, and that's a choice for all of you. Just think over it, and probably you can contact visit our website and get further details. So that is, our life purpose is what? Fulfillment. Feeling full. We cannot just like that leave some desire unfulfilled. This is an opportunity for you to just exploit the whole life that is available to you. Enjoy what you are made to do in this planet, and achieve that self-actualization, the self-realization at your own pace. Okay, you can find it, you can go and do it on your own pace, and that's what I call the purpose of life is to discover your gift. The work of life is to develop it. And the meaning of life is to give your gift away. My dear children, I found out my purpose of life at the age of 48. And I am just advising you, you find out your life purpose as early as possible. Because you have a work to do. It is not that discovering is enough. You need to develop it. Because that is what I said in the first slide. Genetic is what we are discovering. Acquired means how do I nurture my abilities to become the best to myself, not to compete with someone and achieve some medals and all. How to bring the best version of myself. That is your purpose, not to become better with someone else. How much you are able to improve upon yourself and be the best version. You are born in this planet like a signature. How to have my signature so best so that I feel I have done enough, I have made use of the opportunity that I am bestowed. This is a great opportunity that you are all given. But unless otherwise you make use of the opportunity, it will look like it is not an opportunity. So work of the life is to develop your brain. And I said brain is your life. Your life is your brain. Without brain, you are not existing in this planet. That is the reason why brain death is considered the last symptom or last indication of somebody alive or not. So, work of the life is to develop your brain, and what I am doing now is the meaning of life. I figured out my purpose of life. I discovered it. I have been developing this for the last 10 years, and I am just giving whatever I have understood about my life and the understanding of the brain. I'm just giving away. This is how every individual needs to work. What type of work you are doing is not important. But the meaning of life is only when you share your knowledge, when you give away your assets, whatever assets you think, you give away that assets, especially the experience that you have got, the knowledge you have got, the wisdom you have made use of to people around. So, my dear children, you have a great responsibility ahead. Yes, I know entertainment, fun, everything is important, but I'm just still reminding you think of balancing in a day how much time you spend on your personal growth and how much time you are spending on entertainment or some other fun. If you are interested in watching others making their show, when will your show start? By just watching a TV dance or a musical show for the whole day, you are not going to become a singer. Unless otherwise you practice, your skill sets will never get exhibited. Please remember, happiness is only when your talents get executed, the happiness comes. Everybody is born with so much of talent, but most of the time we all die without knowing, or when we come to know that the talent is there, probably we have lost the opportunity to make it showcase to the planet. So just go back home with an awareness that what is my goal, what is my vision, what is that I'm come here. Am I doing something towards that? Just pay few minutes of your time on a regular basis. Get up and ask, am I healthy? Am I happy? Ask these questions and continue to work on. If you are not healthy, work on your health. If you are not happy, work on your happiness. And keep asking this question. I'm sure everybody born in this planet are genius. Sometimes the society, the education system makes them idiots, makes them dumps, pushes something because an organization, a system of education system cannot be personalized. That is the big challenge for the whole administration, the governments, and the educational universities and institutions. You cannot personalize your education. So personalization of your personal growth is something you need to focus on. You can't blame the government, you can't blame the colleges and the universities for their they have those limitations. But if you take your life in your hand, you can definitely shape your life and shape your future. And I wish all of you a great future and a great life, a joyful life ahead. Live a life of choices and not of compulsions, because compulsion is a pain. And you just choose your life and make it the best for your experience. Let it be the best. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I hand over back to the MC.
Thank you very much for such a productive session, sir. We had a lot of takeaways in means of creative thinking, analytic. thinking, and much more. So, with that being said, I now call upon Secretary Road Tractor Angel Arunmuli to deliver the vote of thanks.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
உலகிலுள்ள ஒவ்வொரு அணுவையும் காக்கும் பரமனுக்கு என் முதல் நன்றி. பயன்தூக்கார் செய்த உதவி நயன்தூக்கின் நன்மை கடலின் பெரிது என்பதற்கிணங்க எங்களை எந்த ஒரு பிரதிபலனையும் பாராமல் எங்களுக்கு இந்த 10 வயதினை குறித்த அறிவினை ஊட்டிய திரு ரத்னசாமி அவர்களுக்கு எங்கள் மனமார்ந்த நன்றிகள். என்றும் தங்களது ஆதரவையும் வழிகாட்டுதலையும் எமக்கு அளிக்கும் எங்கள் கல்வி நிர்வாகத்திற்கும் டாக்டர் தினேஷ் அவர்களுக்கும் எம் நன்றிகள். தங்களுடைய வருகையினால் இந்த நிகழ்வினை சிறப்பித்த ரோட்ராக்டர் விஜயாதித் டிஜிஎஸ், ரோட்ராக்டர் கௌதம் கார்த்திக் ஜிஆர்ஆர், ரோட்ராக்டர் தங்கபாண்டியன் ஜிஆர்எஸ் மற்றும் ரோட்டரி சங்கம் 3201 உறுப்பினர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் எம் நெஞ்சார்ந்த நன்றிகள். இந்த நிகழ்வை நிகழ்நிலையில் நடத்த மிகவும் உதவி புரிந்த மருத்துவர் சக்தி விஜயன் அவர்களுக்கும் எம் நன்றிகள். ரோட்டரி சங்கம் அல்லாத இந்த நிகழ்விற்கு வருகை புரிந்த ஆசிரியர்கள், மருத்துவர்கள், பெற்றோர், மாணவர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் எம் நன்றிகள். இந்த நிகழ்வின் தொகுப்பாளர்களுக்கும் எம் நன்றிகள். இறுதியாக எம் கல்லூரியின் ரோட்டரி சங்க உறுப்பினர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் எம் நன்றிகள். We must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. I heartfully thank Mr. Rathinaswamy, ex-scientist BIRC, for spending his valuable session and making the session more valuable, and it's a really eye-opening session for us, sir. And I thank our beloved institution and staff coordinator, Dr. Dinesh, for supporting us always. I extend my gratitude to DJs, Rotractor Vijayadit and Rotractor Gautam Karthik GRR, Rotractor Tangapandian GRS, and all the presidents and secretaries of Rotract District 3201 who made their presence and this session more successful. I thank Dr. Shakti Vijayan for organizing this meet. I thank all the non-Rotractors, parents, teachers, doctors, and students who made their presence. And I express my greetings to the Master of Ceremony. Last but not least, I extend my thanks to our club president, board members, and all our members for their presence and support. Thank you all. Keep supporting us. Over to MC.
Thank you very much, Rotractor Angel. Now I'd like to request the club president to adjourn the meeting.
Decoding the Teenage Brains, organized by the Rota Club of JSS BNYS, is hereby adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you for all the participants who have made their presence today. You're free to leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you for being patient and cooperating with the proceedings. On the chat box, I have given the YouTube video link for the same session. You can watch it there, and I have also given the address, that is MiDNAglobal.com. You may contact the presenter in the website and they will guide you further. Thank you all. Thank you for the patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you both, Saktis. It's my pleasure. I'm very happy about it.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for being here, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my pleasure.